Alright, now welcome back on board Flight Testing 001. Today we've got the Supersonic Boom Overture right in front of us. Let's just go ahead and take it off of this 300-meter long runway. It was an interesting introduction to this video, isn't it? Yeah, we go full power. Oh, actually, wait, let's see if this is going to take off at all, which it isn't. Great. You welcome aboard the Supersonic Boom Overture plane. You know, we have heard this name quite a bit recently because it made some big news with United Airlines. Because United Airlines ordered 15 of these planes, actually. Yes, really genuinely ordered. Like on Amazon, but... what am I saying? Yeah, they basically made a huge marketing campaign also on Instagram. They removed all their posts and just had one video on there. So yeah, they are working together to finally realize this plane now. This supersonic plane flying faster than the speed of sound. You just gotta realize that. And this is indeed quite a bit of a change because before we have only had the Boom Overture as a bit of a concept plane that might just happen somewhat in the future. But this is actually, you know, taking a step closer to this plane becoming actually reality. You know what I mean? So this plane now is kind of officially the plane of the future, right? And it'll actually roll out within the next 10 years, according to United Airlines. Or will it? Now, yes, ever since the very exciting, we have to say that, announcement from United Airlines in the beginning of this month, we've had some time to think about this plane a little bit and reflect on it. And from the beginning on, there's already been a lot of people that have, you know, kind of even blamed United for making this a huge marketing stunt and, you know, not really keeping what they promised right now in the future. And we're definitely dying right now. Holy moly. I turned on the autopilot to hold the altitude of 60,000 feet. That's the cruising altitude of this plane. Didn't really work quite well. Yep, there are a lot of doubters of this plane saying that's not gonna happen. Yeah, and it's just being very much overhyped, and especially United Airlines is being very much overhyped. So today, let's just ask the question, maybe answer the question, you know, what are the chances of this plane actually becoming a real thing in the next 10 years? And honestly, I myself, let me just say that, you know, beforehand, do not believe the chances are actually 100% either. I do like this plane, I do believe in this plane, but I wouldn't trust it too much. I mean, we have been disappointed before, quite a bit. Very recently, actually, with this plane, the Airlines AS2, another very promising looking private concept plane that also is supposed to fly supersonic, and that was actually cancelled like a week ago or something. Very, very surprisingly. The project just ran out of money and there we go, it died. And you know, this could also happen with our little Boom Overture plane, right? I mean, this is the Concorde, obviously. The plane that the Boom Overture is supposed to replace, or yeah, replace is probably the right word. But this plane is the perfect representation of what problems there are with supersonic flying and what problems there are for the Boom Overture to fix. Yep, as much as we love this plane, I love this plane very much, the Concorde. It definitely had a lot of flaws, which made it not very well mass market compatible. Let me just say that. We're back on board this Concorde that always keeps just complaining about stuff. It's just the alarms go off all the time. Great. There's a reason why this plane and in general supersonic flying never really arrived in mainstream flying. And I think the biggest pricing of the Concorde in general was just pricing. For the passengers, for the airlines. For the passengers, the tickets were just way too expensive for, you know, the planes to properly fill up. I mean, you can easily spend around $20,000 on a round trip to New York from London on a plane ticket like this with, you know, adjusted for inflation, which is a proper first class Emirates shoot ticket, you know? And we all know how uncomfortable the Concorde was in the I mean, we can take a bit of a look into the cabin here in the flight simulator just to get a bit of an impression of what this plane actually looks like from the inside and what it felt like to fly. I was actually inside of a real Concorde too, and it was not very comfortable. You cannot even properly stand up, and I'm not even that tall. Not particularly comfortable with this plane. We're probably dying. Oh, great. Yeah, all this plane really was offering for the ticket price was speed. And, you know, so it just makes sense that people prefer to fly on conventional airliners like, I don't know, 767, 777 across the Atlantic that are maybe, you know, maybe 1/3 of the speed of the Concorde, but also 1/10 of the price of the Concorde. We're dying. Oh no. And well, of course, I do also understand the people that said, well, if I pay around the price of what you actually would pay for a pilot's license, right? For one flight to New York from London, I do kind of wish for comfort. Maybe a bed, maybe even a shower, which is also a thing. Not in the Concorde, but in like an A380. Yep, many people just prefer, of course, comfort, over, arriving maybe a few hours earlier. You know what I mean? And especially again, when it comes to pricing is always important. Money is important. There is a reason why Ryanair is one of the biggest airlines in Europe, despite their landings. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that pricing is probably the most important thing that they should fix with this plane, of course. Just in order to make it more flyable. They have to be more efficient, more financially efficient by, saving fuel costs, maybe, make it a bit more profitable, make a bit of more of a money machine out of it, which is obviously going to be the problem with the Concorde. If that's the reason it died. Not many people were flying it. Too expensive. Especially also after the crash. So yeah, they have a big challenge in front of them, for sure. I mean, what the Boom Overture already is doing a lot more properly than the Concorde is, of course, the cabin design that it features. It's a lot more sleek. It's a lot better, very much, really. It's more of a premium economy to business class seating. But that also makes this plane, which is, by the way, pretty much as large as the Concorde, like generally by a few feet. Yeah, this one only seats like 60 people, which is like 40 people less than the Concorde, which would also, on the other hand, mean, again, that it would be much more expensive than the Concorde to fly as a passenger. I mean, here on Wikipedia, I actually found the target fare price for the Boom Overture, $5,000 for a New York to London round trip, which is really not bad, again, compared with a Concorde round trip, $20,000. Damn. $5,000 is like that's still like a first class ticket on like a good day. But still. But to conclude this, we do have to say, of course, the aircraft manufacturer of Boom, which is quite an ironic name for an aircraft manufacturer, has quite a bit of challenge ahead of itself, right? Especially when it comes to building planes, it's not easy at all. Just certifying everything, that's gonna be a whole nightmare. But I'm just gonna be open for everything. But let's just all forget to not become too hopeful about this plane definitely coming out, and this still flies a little weird. I'm just gonna be, kind of looking out for the future. Maybe we can see this plane, or maybe after all this was just a stupid marketing stunt from United Airlines. I mean, we have never ever seen a plane before from this company, Boom Overture, and while with United Airlines, we've also had a bit of a bad history with, bringing I'm sorry. And while the question whether we even need supersonic flying in this world where we are supposed to, kind of be careful about our planet is a whole nother story, yeah. So hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. As always, good night. Now, thank you to my members here on YouTube like Block, Emite, Mubarak, Mike, Ethan, Darren, Stefan, Ian, Oman the Human, Rafael Burkowski, Junk in the Trunk, Moritz, Toby, Great Grandpa John, Government Pasta, Calamity Airlines, Kelly Chaos, New York, Tyler Park, Cheese Doritos, Shadow, Anime Plane 001, X-Men Show, Deslama, Twittering, Kellen, Me By You, Captain Cameron, Spiro, Gary, Norwegian, Bajel, and Pyrology.